Welcome to Home Farm. Our resident mallards have come back and had ducklings on our pond for the second year running, and it's been really fascinating to watch these little ducklings grow up. They start off so small and so cute, they grow really quickly, but what is astonishing is how quickly they learn the skill sets that they need to survive. So we have started this video a little bit late. They have been out for about a week. They have grown quite a bit in that time, and when they actually start out, it's actually quite interesting that all they can do for the first few days is just paddle around, basically getting their basic skills for swimming down and just consuming what is basically available to them. It's incredible to watch them learn, where one little duckling develops a new skill, what we call running on water, because they realize that there are mosquitoes around that they can quite easily get to, but they have to accelerate a little bit and elevate themselves in the water to actually catch them. So what's incredible is that once one learns the skill, within 20 minutes they're all doing it. So we pick up our story where they are now beginning to dunk their heads underwater, which to this point they have not been doing. So either the mum has taught them to do that, or one of them has picked up the skill and taught the others, because as we can see, they are beginning to get their head under, are beginning to get some sort of food source just from just below the water, and it's only a matter of time now before they do start to fully dunk themselves under and actually be underwater for a few seconds. It's really fun to watch, because they get down when they do start, and we'll certainly try and capture some of that on video for you. They get underwater and they pop out a few meters in a different direction, so they are very skilled at doing that. So it is just really fun. It's a privilege to actually watch them grow. The family unit in itself is incredible to watch. The mum is very protective. She's very vigilant, and she's constantly watching out for them. As soon as there's any threat of danger, like if we come out, or if there are any animals that come out and the ducklings are near the edge, within seconds she's corralled them and they're all in the middle of the pond safe, which is where they are right now. In addition to that, the male is also very good. The female tends to get harassed quite a lot by males from other ponds. We're not entirely sure why that is. So between the two of them, they are able to chase off the males, and certainly if another female or another couple of mallards try and land here, they are just chased away instantly. So they are quite protective, obviously, about their little ones. The other thing that's worth noting is that these chicks, or these ducklings, all hatched almost to the day as they did last year. So we've had Easter ducklings on our pond for 2 years in a row, and we're hoping it's going to be more of the same next year. But it's just really interesting to see the life cycle as they grow up. Like I said, they are very small, and they remain very small for about a fortnight, and then they just have a massive growth spurt, and before you know it, they're gone, and they've flown off to pastures newer and greener to probably start their own families. So as I said, it does feel like a privilege to be able to watch these ducklings grow up. It certainly gives us a fair amount of entertainment when we have our evening sundowner drinks down at the pond, watching them. It's always a hive of activity with them. There are also moorhens that reside on the pond, very close to the nest where the mallards actually have their ducklings, but they seem to coexist very well. We've not seen any dramas between them. It's just it's very fun and very relaxing just to watch these little ducklings go about their learning. It's now 1:30 in the afternoon. The ducklings have been on the pond all morning. It's been about 4 or 5 hours since they've been out here. I've been watching them as I've been filling up the raised beds, and now it's nap time, so they've gone to sleep. And we have a very inquisitive moorhen that is encroaching on where the little ducklings are sleeping, so the mum is very alert. She's just making sure that he just presses on and moves on. Oh, here we go, bit of an altercation. And we have been watching the moorhens over the course of the last 2 years since we've had the little ducklings, and we've never really seen too many issues between them. So he's pressed on. The moorhens just nest themselves probably about, what is that, about 10 or 15 meters to the left of where the little ducklings are now. The last straggler. Oh man, woo! We've got some more politics happening. This couple arrived a short while ago. Unlike other couples, they haven't been chased away, but the female is certainly making an awfully big racket. I hope it's not too windy, but we have come down to the pond this afternoon and we have a twist to our ducktail. So as we came down, I thought I was actually seeing double, because we looked there, we have our family of ducklings. As we pan across, we can see that a new family has moved in on the pond in an amazing turn of events. In a strange and peculiar turn of events, we've woken up this morning and both sets of ducklings are gone. Both families appear to have moved on somewhere. It's a little bit strange given where we live. There are two very, very small ponds in very close proximity to us. We've checked both. The ducklings don't appear to be there. So it's really strange that they just packed up and moved house somewhere else. Purely because there really isn't that many places where they can actually go to. We've just had one male mallard that has stuck around. He's not around this morning either. And I guess that this sums up the unpredictability of nature. Last year the family saw their ducklings all the way through to the point where they could actually leave the pond and fly away themselves. This year they've pressed on and moved somewhere else. But we will continue to watch the pond and see if they do come back. Last year we did see the mother take their little ducklings on little parade walks, but where they kind of marched single file behind each other, but they were a little bit older than what they are now. So what's even more interesting is how she would have moved them in both sets of family, 24 ducklings, to have marched them somewhere else seems like quite a feat. But let's see if they return. Hopefully they do, so we can continue to enjoy them. It's now been 9 days since we've last seen the ducklings. We come down to the pond probably a couple of times a day because we're working on the veg patch not too far away, just to see if they've come back. It has been quite strange to see the ducklings go because last year they did stick around to full maturity. This year obviously they've pushed on and gone elsewhere. It's highly unlikely now that they are going to come back to the pond, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens next year in April. So for this video, that's it. If the ducklings do come back, we'll post a future update, but that's it. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button below and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on our next video. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. You can also follow us on Twitter or check out our website at myhomefarm.co.uk. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button below, and if you have any suggestions for any other videos you would like to see, please leave a comment. We hope to see you on our next video.